You know, I never knew that peanut butter and toast was something special. I never would have guessed it, but I guess it's the crunchiness of the toast that makes it good. But toasted bread and peanut butter tastes much better than just peanut butter and bread. And go figure. I never would have thought so, but it is. Called peanut butter and toast. It's got a name. There's some culture that eats this regularly. I don't know what it is. This lady told me about it. She said toast some bread and put peanut butter on it. She said it's really good. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. And I tried it and it is. It's really good. As usual, I have to add my little extra. Put a little honey with it. I also got my meatballs. I mean, okay, it's raining today, so I'm not cooking outside. It's a little bit on the chilly side. So here I am. You know, I'm thinking about doing that Q&A on a regular basis. I realized that it helps my communication skills, which need a lot of help. And it also gets me comfortable with being sociable again. But most of all, I think I can create a platform where people can discuss heavy topics without judgment or debate. And when I say debate, I mean like stifling the person's voice or trying to override their voice and replacing their voice with your voice. You know, none of the domineering, overbearing kind of typical debate, because everybody's not good at debate, but everybody's voice is just as valuable as the next person. So by overriding someone's voice simply because you don't agree or you don't understand, I don't like that platform, and that's not what I would be looking for. It would be if you want to ask questions and to probe a person's ideas and opinions for the sake of learning, for the sake of trying to understand where are they coming from. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But not to debate them so you can override them. That's not what I'm trying to do here. And I believe that will go over pretty well. I'm pretty good at that type of communication. So it's something that I'm thinking about doing and adding to the channel. The Face of Me by Kylo Mims. A short story. The Miss Neeb Saga. For 3 years, Miss Neeb, my band teacher, tried to squeeze and sway that ghetto project behavior out of me. Lori Neeb was tough. She was about 5'4". She had a manly disposition and demanded excellent, pristine in order and discipline in her band classes. All the kids fell in line with her discipline like toy soldiers, but I was the thorn in Miss Neeb's craw. I talked, laughed, and disrupted class constantly, and I would involve the other kids that sat beside me in my comic affairs. Miss Neeb would single me out and verbally chastise me almost daily. "Mr. Dean, yada yada yada," she would say. She would always call me out by Mr. Dean in a slow, authoritative, passive-aggressive tone. In 3 years, I never remembered that lady ever calling me Leonard. She kicked me out of band 3 times, and on the 4th time, she told me she wouldn't let me back in until she spoke with one of my parents. Mama and Miss Neeb had a parent-teacher conference. To this day, I don't know what was said. I never thought Miss Neeb didn't like me. I believe she found it challenging to try and turn me into an upscale and disciplined little band student. I actually liked her. I just unwillfully couldn't control my immature impulse to act the fool in class. But Miss Neeb allowed me back in her band class for the 4th and final time, but not without a price. Brentwood Middle School Band had 3 classes: junior band for beginning 6th graders, the intermediate band for 7th and 8th graders who didn't make the cut for senior band, and senior band, the advanced band. Senior band was what every junior band member yearned for the next year. The top players from junior band were all but guaranteed a spot in senior band their 7th grade year. I always sat 2nd or 3rd seat of about 15 clarinet players. I had no doubt that I would make senior band, along with my best buddy Greg Sherry, who always sat 1st chair. I think you can see where I'm going with this. At the end of the year, just before summer break, Miss Neeb used half of the class time to inform each band member of our 7th grade band status. When she got to me, she said, "Mr. Dean, intermediate band, I don't think you are mature enough for senior band yet. I'm giving you another year to mature." I couldn't believe it. I went numb in a childlike way. I felt down about it, but did not let it render me stricken in any way. That's how kids are. They move on from disappointment rather quickly. I was sad that I was about to be separated from Greg Sherry, who was partially my motivation for my idle chit-chat and mischievous clowning in band class. Though it wasn't just Miss Neeb's band class I disrupted, I cut up and disrupted almost all of my classes in middle school. I made loud, crazy cat noises while the class was supposed to be reading silently or taking a test. Cindy Ware was my partner in crime with that. A couple of times I was the ringleader at convincing and synchronizing the entire classroom to drop their books on the floor the day we had a substitute teacher. And oh my golly, poor Brenda Futrell. She sat in front of me in Miss Cobb's 7th grade English class. About halfway through the school year, Brenda started wearing a training bra. Sitting behind her, I couldn't help but notice. I'd pop that strap every chance I had. She'd turn back at her desk and say, "Stop!" But she'd say it with a smile. So I thought her smile was my permission to rear back on that bra strap and let it fly whenever I felt like it. I couldn't control myself in class. That is, the ones I could get away with bad behavior. Some teachers I liked or respected too much to disrupt and be disruptive in their classes. Children know which teachers they can get away with bad behavior. I will never ever forget Miss Lori Neeb. She took so much from me, and I took a lot from her too, because she was tough and she wouldn't let up on me not one bit. And it wasn't a thing of me and her kind of, maybe from her perspective, but from my perspective, I was just being me, and that was it. And I really didn't see her as a threat, but at the same time, I knew to cooperate when she would discipline me. But I just would go right back to behaving, like I would before. And I never forget when she would kick me out of band. I'll go to band class and sit on the side and watch the other kids in the band. And I actually loved band. I loved music. I loved playing the clarinet. I loved playing all the instruments. And so I remember feeling a little bit left out, but at the same time, I was still kind of, acting a fool on this side of the room in the chair, because I sat behind. She kicked me out. I would sit behind her in the podium, and I would make faces. I was still doing that stuff even after she kicked me out. But I missed being part of the band because I loved it. But yeah, I remember that so clearly, that one story. And Miss Neeb, she was something else. She was a tough lady, and all the kids respected her. And I came back to visit her when I was in college, and she was really surprised to see me. I can tell by her face, because I don't think she expected me to ever come back and visit her. But I remember when I was a kid, the kids that had grown up and had children of their own would come and visit her while I was still in band, and I always thought that was so cool. And so when I got to be an adult and started going to college, I said, I'm going to do that. And she would introduce me as Leonard Dean, the clarinet player. And the kids would look at me the way I used to look at the kids, the adults that came to visit her when I was a kid. So that's my story about Miss Neeb and my saga with her. Now go to the links in the description and click on and check out my books.